Welcome, dudes, druids, and debutantes, to episode 14 of Dion Rising! Hey! This right here is a Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition actual play campaign brought to you by the Knights of D20. Hi, guys. You're all so cute. As usual, before we begin roaming around brothels, we have a few announcements brought to you by the first guy in 2 centuries to make the color purple look truly regal. Bobby, take over the mic.
So as always, we have so much stuff being thrown at you every day of the week, pretty much. So Tuesday, tomorrow, we're gonna have Kara and myself talking about social encounters over on the Int Mod Pod. This I thought was gonna be a very rules kind of how to roleplay in the rules, and it just kind of became a just how to roleplay in general, how to deal with social encounters. So head over there if you have questions about how to deal with that, or if you have anxiety about it, because we do go into how to use the rules to take some of that anxiety away from you. On Wednesday, tea time, we're going to have Melanie and JP, so we're going to have some Seraphina Eidos action happening for you. Who knows what she's going to circle around him like a predator about, but she's going to get some answers about some things. Book Club, Winter King on Friday. People, if you haven't been reading this one with us, you really should. This has been such a joyous experience for all of us who are actively reading it. So jump on over there and on Friday head over to our YouTube, and we are going to actually be finishing the book for that Friday episode while also revealing what Robin's pick is for next month's book. Casting Friendship, we've had a little bit of issues with our editing for Casting Friendship, so we are a little bit behind on those releases, but fear not, Kara is determined to get those done here soon, and then she's going to give you a treat with a couple of episodes all at the same time. So once we get those done, we will be dropping quite a few of those together for you. Down below in all of our links section, you can find all of our links to all of these things I've talked about, including our Discord server. If you're not a part of that, you should really head over there. We've got tons of links to all the different little channels that we have, specifically if you have questions about Dungeons & Dragons. This way you can message us, let us know, and we can go ahead and take care of those on IntModPod. If you want to get involved in tea time and have questions that you want answered, trust me, Melanie will get to any question and get to the bottom of it and not let anyone off the hook for that. So head on over there, ask your questions, and we will get to everything. And that's all the news I have for you. So we're going to go right back to our Dungeon Mother.
Thank you, Bobby. Okay, thank you all again for joining us as we embark on an epic adventure in the world of Dion, where heroes rise, dangers abound, and legends are born. Players, dice at the ready! In episode 13, our group successfully opened the sealed door to Eztar's Temple of Illusions and found an old cleric inside who introduced himself as Wyasthira. He told them about the devil Solvok and his thrall called Archangel, who stole the ancient mace of Eztar and locked him inside the temple. The group convinced the old elf to baptize Dark Down and lift her curse. She emerged as her former human self, blind to ordinary sight, but now able to see through illusions. She managed to lead you back all through the maze to the surface of the city, where you did some asking around and heard word of a brothel keep who holds a lot of sway in Suntapelli. They agreed to ask him if he knows anything, and also enacted your plan to smuggle Chiffon Foxglove out of the city to allow her to start a new life outside of the limelight. So, with that in mind, players, what are you going to do today? It is still the same day that you've emerged from the temple. It's about mid-afternoon.
Well, you know what happens at night.
Do we?
Drinking?
Oh, drinking and the red lights of the red light district. That's why they call it that. They get lit. And that seems to be where we're going next. That, or we could fake the death of this noble woman and then hide her while we do that. What do y'all think?
I feel like we still need some prepared time, and she's not here with us, and we'll have to go grab her.
I entirely agree.
So I think that is probably best to go to the red light district. Why do they have red lights, by the way? Like, what's the point of the red light?
I don't actually know. I just kind of took it on faith. Never really thought about it.
I imagine it's to capture your attention.
Oh.
After all, red is the color of passion, of love.
Like a moth to a
It's the
flame.
sultriest color.
It's also
Yeah.
blood.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Hopefully there's none of that there.
Yeah. Speaking of passion, if we're going to the red light district, we should probably pick up Serafina on the way.
We definitely should.
I think she will become quite in handy there.
He has a way with talking with people. It is quite fascinating.
So, shall we go collect Serafina and then maybe grab a bite to eat for before we head over there?
Bula towering over Morway is like, I know I sure could go for some food right about now.
Oh, we know.
Thanks for the southern accent.
What would you like to eat, Bula? What strikes your fancy?
Well, you see, what I would really like to do is get a whole chicken in one hand, preferably on a stick so I can hold it real easy, and then maybe in the other hand, I could get like a whole boar's leg, and that way we can walk and eat at the same time. That way we can be efficient and we can continuously do things. And if we can get other little snacks, we can put it in my bag too.
You know what would be really good is if, like, in your bag you just have like a giant barrel, and then you can just put a straw from there, and then you can just constantly have a drink.
I believe she had that idea, and she couldn't make it fit. She's gonna need a
Well, I
smaller
mean,
barrel.
we could just like put a cup, but at least her hand will be empty, so she could still have the food, and then just have like a little straw that goes from her bag.
That's. I admire your ingenuity.
All right. You all have this conversation as you're heading back toward the hotel that you had been staying at, where you find Serafina and the newly human Eureka Feltrade resting on the bed, and Glitterbell kind of curled up at Eureka's feet very cutely. Back at the moonlit quay.
Good
Seraph.
afternoon. Yes.
I have good news and bad news.
Okay.
Good news is we're going to the red light district.
I'm into this. I'm
Yes.
ready.
The bad news is that we're all going to the red light district.
That's wonderful.
Oh, good. I hope
That's
you.
good news and good news.
Great. Yeah. I can't wait for you to show us around the town and explain everything while I don't explain anything.
Everyone's gonna love it, I'm sure.
Maraway, are you?
Is this-
Are you familiar
you-
with these places, Serafina?
Been known to
Ah,
dally.
God.
Are you ready, Killian?
Ready for what? What are we going? What are we walking into? I've never been
Oh,
to one of
yes,
these
dear.
places.
Surely you've heard of what goes on. Yeah.
I've heard of them, but I always thought they were fantasy stories.
Serafina, roll history.
God.
And I'll tell you what you know about these particular brothels.
Literally
Fantasies
fantasy stories. I
come
forgot about your
true.
books.
oh no!
I got a 3,
She's
but I
fake.
rolled a 1.
Oh no!
She's never been.
Oh, big sad.
I know.
Is
She
this
doesn't-
where we learn that Serafina's only been lying about being a freak?
No, she just goes in there. She doesn't know anything that's going on
I
other than
just
the
enjoy
activities
myself.
that happen. She just enjoys.
Yeah, you know you've been to some of the brothels in this city in your visits here. However, you're usually pretty distracted when we're there. Kind of a one-track mind by the time you get through the door.
She has a singular purpose.
She is a
You're gonna
woman with a mission.
love
Okay.
it, Killian. It's where all your fantasies can come true.
All of them?
All of them,
Every
Maraway.
single one.
It's like a
As long-
little hinge of like redness to Killian's cheeks start, a little flushing happens. He's just like, oh, okay.
And just to be clear, Maraway, most of our fantasies, not yours.
Oh,
This
okay.
involves, and I only say that because I don't want you to get disappointed when we get there and there are not flying elephants or horses or something. You know, it's those sexual fantasies.
There's flying elephants somewhere, and we
No.
haven't gone
No,
to see
no.
them yet?
No, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. Maybe there are, but they're not going to be here.
Are there
Maybe.
flying elephants with Seraphina now?
With the one, maybe.
With that one, yeah, for sure. You're like, I feel like that's true.
They're definitely there.
I cannot wait to see them!
On the way out, I'll just say to Seraphina, I was like, well, you'll have to explain that one once we get there. And he's disappointed. I hope you're happy.
You won't be disappointed.
All right. Roll just. You haven't asked for directions from anybody to any of these brothels. Roll a survival or an investigation check. Whoever would like to be the person to ask around, try and navigate your way to one of these hidden houses of pleasure.
Yeah, Sada's gonna just. Do you know where the brothel is?
Where the brothel's at?
What's
You
that
know
roll look
the
like?
red light district. 18 plus 5, that's a 23.
Ooh.
Oh!
Nice.
So
You
well.
know
Way better than
exactly
mine.
where it is. You can smell it.
Yeah, he just sniffs it out. Like,
That's not good.
Oh.
Okay, incredible. Yeah, someone like you like yell this in someone's face, and they say, "I just walked out of one." He's like literally walking down the stairs of one.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
He puts his hood on and rushes away. You are still under the pyramid in this part of the city, and you've kind of made your way into weirdly the more like lavish part of this area. Like under the temple is not as nice and touristy as out on the beach, but this is still like a nicer neighborhood. And you see the sign on this door that he just gestured toward, and it says Courtship's Chorus. And you walk inside? Yeah?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
All right.
cool. All right. You head inside, and you see this like concert hall foyer. Like you see all these different, like it's a nice long hallway. There's a couple bars throughout, and you see a couple doorways through which are all open, and you can see inside those doorways is a large concert hall or like an auditorium. And there are people kind of milling about, and from the auditorium there's also all these balconies and private doors to private rooms. And right now there's no show happening, but people are kind of like some bard is just like up singing on the stage for a small group of people who are drinking. There are some balconies in use in a variety of ways currently. And yeah, you are eventually greeted by this lovely elven barkeep. She walks over and she says, hello, do you have an appointment tonight, or are you going to wait for the concert later?
We are actually here looking for somebody. Maybe you could be of help?
I do enjoy being of help. Who are you looking for?
A red-horned tiefling that I see here that comes around many of the brothels.
You don't mean, the maestro, do you?
Possibly.
Coast is, he's actually at one of our sister establishments today. He's at, the Desire's Dirge. However, he usually comes here, later in the evening, so if you would like to sit and enjoy a drink, I'd be happy to, serve you while you wait.
Is there a way that we could get an appointment with him? We have Lady Leslie Flake was like Lady Blackthorn with us tonight.
She's quite the present.
Your presence is a present as always, Lady Blackthorn. How have you been?
Hey, I've been very well. How have you been?
Oh, fantastic. That's good to hear.
Oh,
Yes,
wow.
indeed. As soon as I see Kostar come back, I will let him know that you're waiting for an audience. He's usually quite open to meeting new people to the city. Would you like to sit and have a drink while you wait?
Oh, yes, that'd be
Fantastic.
lovely. Thank you.
Fantastic. And she like guides you over to her bar where she starts mixing you up just like a signature cocktail. She doesn't even ask you all what you want. She starts making something for each of you just based on vibes alone. And she starts pouring drinks, and the only other person sitting at her bar is this figure. And you all kind of notice him sitting at the end of the bar, just a couple bar stools down from you all. And at the same time, it's strange. He's almost like nothing. Like, he just blends in. He's so average. And it's almost like as soon as you look away from him, you forget what he looked like. And you keep looking back and you're like, oh, that's just a guy. And as soon as you look away again, it's average. You can't even you can't make out rhyme or reason of, he just seems so boring and average.
Era, I asked you not to make me an NPC.
Just a guy in a cardigan.
It's green. He's weird. He's weird. Is he doing it? Is he just enjoying a drink?
Yeah, he's having a drink, and he sees you all get your drinks poured, and he nods at the barkeep, and he says, I will pay for their drinks, my lady. And he puts a couple gold down on the counter, and she gives a little wink and takes it.
Oh, well, that's very generous of you. Might I ask your name?
He says, my name is Archie.
Archie.
Well, lovely to meet you, Archie. What brings you here tonight?
The same thing that brings everybody to the concert halls. Some fun. Some relaxation. The usual.
And what kind of relaxation are you most looking forward to?
He looks back at the barkeep and kind of gives her a little smile. A little flirty.
Oh, I understand.
He blushes a little and looks down at his drink. He says, what brings you to Suntapelli?
Well, we are just seeing the sights and taking a look around and catching some sun. Do you stay in Suntapelli often?
I live in Suntapelli, have for many years.
Oh, wow.
I want everybody as this conversation is happening to roll perception, please.
Yeah, what kind of accent is this? Ain't nobody else talking like that.
I have a 7.
5.
21.
I get a 6.
14.
All right, Marrow.
Do I need to roll this for Bula?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she's not getting anything.
She's
It was-
like,
it was a 4.
drink.
All right, Marwe and Zada, it takes you both a couple minutes of like looking at him and trying, and it's almost like he's not blurry. He's just so you can't like make distinction of his physical shape. But eventually, with enough staring, you realize his hood is up and it's like largely over 2 red curved horns.
I'm just gonna poke Serafina, who's next to me. Serafina,
Yeah. Yes, Marway?
I think that's the guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Play it
Zada's
cool.
Zada's gonna like sit up, like get on the other side of him from where everybody else is, and then just kind of. So, what's your favorite drink?
A vodka, typically.
What's good? I like a good strong dwarven ale myself. I've gotten around to doing that. Um,
What is in your cup? I will buy you a dwarven ale if you like.
I would love that. It's I don't know if you've actually ever heard, but we're looking for this redhorn tiefling around.
He goes ahead and takes his hood off, and he says, "Perceptive. Interesting. I think I have heard of you. I think I have some questions."
Well, so do we. So, funny coincidence.
He downs his drink, and he kind of like flips his cape over his shoulder and rests a hand on the hilt of a weapon that's sheathed. And the illusions around him drop. And you all see him clearly as this quite handsome, red-skinned, red-horned tiefling man with these ridges and matching scars going up his cheekbones. And he says, "I do apologize for starting this off so rough. You see, I have a bit of an advantage on you. I understand you have recently gone into the Temple of Istar."
Yes.
It behooves me to find out why.
Well, we had a friend who needed a baptism in the waters. She had been cursed, and yeah, so we just went there on a mission of goodwill.
And in that temple, you found a man.
Yes. Found a cleric.
My people, and he looks back at the barkeep, and she kind of makes haste away from you all, make it more private. My people inform me that that man walked away,
Yes.
and you knew not he was there when you arrived.
But
Huh?
he's been there for a long time.
He looks a little bit more stoic than a moment ago, and contemplates for a second. He says, "As you may have surmised, I am Kostjar, the maestro. And yet this is a bit of a separate name for me. I am also known around the world as Archangel."
What a coincidence. We were actually going to ask you about Archangel. That makes this a lot easier.
Yes, I understand you found out about me about the same time as I found out about you. It's very interesting how fates align here in Sontopelli today. Now, this is very, very important. And he leans down and he kind of looks down the bar at every one of you individually. And he says, "Where did the old man go when he left you?"
Back to his temple to try to find more priests of Astar?
He claimed to be a priest of Estar. Is that what you are
Correct.
telling me?
Yes.
He sits back and downs the entire rest of his drink and gets up and goes around the bar and pours another for himself. He says, what else did he tell you?
It was a priest of Estar, and he gave the blessing to break our friend's curse, and that he'd been there, locked in there by a demon, and that you're working for the demon.
He used my name.
Guy with red horns, or Archangel, was the one I think he used.
Again, he contemplates for a minute. I have a story to tell you all. And as I do so, I will be gauging your reactions. I, my friend, am the oldest tiefling alive. I have been alive for over 1,000 years. I believe the only person on Dion alive longer than me is one who goes by the name of Wayasthyra, or Enishayai. As a young man, I began working as a guard in Selsayala, the capital city of the Empire of Orin. I discovered the knack for overhearing secrets, and was quickly able to blackmail my way up the ranks. I was selected to serve on Emperor Orin's royal guard during Empire expanding campaigns in the southeast. I became a standout advisor to Orin, after proposing a plan to infiltrate and assassinate the leader of a particularly strong lizard folk tribe, allowing Orin's army to gain control of an advantaged river delta. I then was selected to serve as Orin's personal master of intelligence, and I assumed this name, Archangel. It was a bit of a cruel joke on Orin's part about my tiefling heritage. A few years later, Orin asked me that I allow him to put me in a magical stasis of some sorts between missions to prevent further aging. Archangel agreed and I entered my first stasis sleep. For 600 years, I continued serving Orin when necessary. Faithfully. Always re-entering stasis between my missions. Eventually, I stopped aging altogether. One year, as I slept, Orin went into the jungle of the Kuatl, on the southeastern continent, during a mission to claim more land. I was not there, but next I saw Orin, he had emerged. A completely different man. He had an ever-growing madness behind his eyes I cannot explain. His missions and plans for me completely changed as well, but I could not make rhyme or reason of it all. I was now tasked with gathering religious followers for the uninvited gods. Out of the blue. Into Orin's inner circle, what I now know is the UUU cult. After years of watching my own friend, my emperor, trying to understand what had happened, I realized Orin was collecting and gifting specific items to other world leaders. Yet another action that was completely unlike the man I knew before. He turned completely away from conquering lands and was suddenly cooperating with other leaders. This was not like him. He was a conqueror. He made powerful allies on the eastern continent. Eventually, he woke me again, pulled me into another mission, an infiltration and retrieval this time. He told me there was a weapon hidden deep beneath the ancient temple here, beneath the baths in Santapelli. But he also warned me there were curses, magics, things unknown that protected it. I was a very good master of intelligence. I came as my master commanded. I played my part. I posed as a courtesan in one of the brothels near the temple. I slipped past the illusion magic little by little over years, until I found the entrance to the dungeon below. That place. It was worse than he said. Cursed with nightmares and a labyrinth of holes and chambers that seemed to change with every step. That should have been a quick retrieval. Took me nearly a year. The nightmares, the ever-shifting voles. I lost track of time down there. Lost myself even. But eventually I reached the heart of the labyrinth. There it was, the mace of Estar. I thought it was over, finally. I reached out, touched it, and then Estar's voice filled my mind. He told me I was never meant to leave with the weapon. No, I was only ever meant to lead Orin to it for Estar. That's when everything changed again. The labyrinth, the curse, it all began to warp around me, and I was trapped. The nightmares never stopped. I stayed down there, Estar's voice in my head. Gifts, he called them, visions of a future with Dion. One where Orin ruled singularly and brutally in the name of the uninvited gods. A future Dion of which Dion and the primordials themselves would never touch with their light again. Try as he might, Estar could not sway me enough to forgive Orin's betrayal, nor accept Orin's plan for our world. In another life, I loved Orin like a father, but the twisted man who came out of the Coatls jungle was no kin of mine. I was broken, on the verge of losing my mind. I couldn't take it anymore, so eventually I did the unthinkable. I prayed. Not to the gods, they had abandoned me long ago, but to the devils, the same ones that brought tieflings such as myself to this realm. One of them heard me, Solvok. He answered my prayer, offering me powerful magic in exchange for my fealty. It was the only choice Orin left me. With Solvok's power, I dispelled the illusion curse just enough to make my way back to the city above, finally. But I knew Orin would think me dead, and come himself to claim the mace, so I set a trap. I crafted an illusion, a perfect replica of my dead, emaciated body, near an illusion of the mace, floating in the temple lake. I was free, but I waited, and I waited for Orin to come, and one day he did. When he came eager to claim his prize, he walked straight into the heart of the labyrinth. That's when I made my final escape. Solvok sealed the door behind me, placed a demonic seal that would hold him inside. I was free and I had the real mace. But I will never underestimate Orin. I remain here. They call me now Maestro Koschar, because I have waited. I have hid in these brothels. I watch. I ensure the seal upon the door did not falter after 200 years, guiding members of his cult away from the city when they came searching. I thought I had done enough and locked him away for good. I was displeased today to hear from my people yesterday that a ragged group of nobodies have entered my city and opened that door and released an evil upon the world that I do not think you understand. And I believe I know now you do not understand. I do not know why he did not come for me as soon as he escaped from that door. For whatever reason, he has not, and that fears me the most. I hold the mace, but he will come for it. I fear
make
we
an
have all
insight
unleashed
check?
disaster upon this world this eve.
Can I
What
do
was
an
that
insight
little
check?
one?
Oh, I want to do an insight check.
Okay.
Because, you
Go
know,
for
I'm
it.
suspicious of literally everything. 19.
Okay.
Tell me your secrets.
His story, by all accounts, sounds either true or like he deeply, deeply believes it is true. You cannot catch a hint of a lie in his story.
Who?
Anybody who wants to roll, who thinks he might know something about the Eastern continents, Emperor Orin, Eidos maybe, being from that continent. Anybody else who wants to. Killian, maybe you too. You would know quite a bit about the Orin Empire. You're welcome to roll a history check.
I object to be calling a group of nobodies.
You call them ragged. I rolled.
Ragged group of nobodies.
I rolled a 21.
21?
I rolled a 12.
Well, okay. Yeah, Killian, you know, you have your own political machinations on Cordia to worry about. So while you have heard of Emperor Orin, he was like the emperor of one of the largest empires in the world until he disappeared a couple hundred years ago. No trace. On top of that, Eidos, you know that Orin indeed turned from, like, according to the histories of your lands, Orin was a conqueror. He was someone who had every ambition of uniting the lands under his rule. You know from that 21, you've read about him at length, weirdly enough, being such a big political figure in your homeland. He was from what is now the Orin Empire, but what used to be a lot of separate tribes. And those tribes were constantly at war with the Urag kingdom, kingdom of like orcs and dwarves, a very rough and tumble kingdom. They share a border. And in the histories of Emperor Orin, he was a border guard when he was captured by the Urag king. And proving his mettle a couple times through some heroic deeds for them as a prisoner, he ended up kind of under the wing of the king Urag. And they sort of taught him warring, they taught him conquering, and eventually he kind of bought his freedom from them and returned to his homeland, what is now the Orin Empire, and began a crusade of sorts to unite the lands. Mostly to stop the border wars, to make Orin strong enough to withstand the Orcish invasions and things like that. He was very successful. He claimed much of the Eastern continent. He had since befriended the Urag king all over again, like down the succession, and is like a strong ally to the Urag kingdom. He has sort of taken in the Drow kingdoms of Undluhelnar and Ulagani as sort of territories. And you know that when he disappeared mysteriously, he had gifted a crown to the Drow princess, Teresa. And that gift of that crown led some people to believe that she should be his heir, that he intended her to be his heir, that he gifted her a crown for a reason, and that he was trying to unite the Orin Empire and the Drow queendoms. So many people consider her now the Empress of Orin, since he has disappeared. It is a bit of an internal struggle. It's not quite at a civil war level yet, but some people, don't believe that a Drow should be ruling all of the Orin Empire. They believe that he disappeared without an heir. So it's a bit of a contested queendom, but one that stands nonetheless. She does continue to hold the most political sway in that part of the world. And that's it's probably a good amount of what you know about Emperor Orin.
Gotcha.
And his history.
That's it?
Yeah, like,
That's it.
That's
it.
all, that's all I know.
Yeah.
Sorry, I couldn't be
We have
more
a novel
helpful.
worth of lore.
So what you're telling us is that it was Emperor Orin himself that was locked behind those doors.
I believe so. According to my friends who witnessed this, who were watching the entrance to the maze. An old man, an old elf, yes, surfaced with you and promptly left. I wish I could have seen him with my own eyes. This mace, and he pats the hilt of that weapon again. That is, it's sheathed in such a sheath that it's hard to tell that it's a mace at all. It's like basically just like hidden under his cloaks and like almost a large leather satchel. But he pats the hilt of it, which is sticking out. He says, "I can see through much with this mace." Yes, small one.
I cast minor illusion to create like an image of his face, and I'd be like, "Is this what he looks like?"
He stands up and walks like eye to eye with the illusion, and he says, "The Emperor Orin I know does not age. However, if he did, if his raven hair went white, this is what he would look like."
Said like the god had sustained him, so and he did a blessing, so he broke the curse, gave me a blessing, so kinda hard
Unsurprising.
to-
He is, to all accounts, in the god's pockets. I believe if Estar could have broken Solvok's seal, he would have.
You were saying that all the unwelcome ones are kind of in on this?
I know not. I do know that the crown that he gifted to that Drow princess is the crown of Bathion, one of the other unwelcome ones. More so, he gifted a suit of armor, engraved with the words and the messages of Ere, and said to be blessed by Ere herself, to the Urag king.
Okay.
I am led to believe he is collecting something from each of the uninvited gods.
How many uninvited gods are there?
Technically, there are 4.
And the final one being Ia.
Correct. Therefore,
Do you
Go
know
on.
why he was collecting these things? I know that you were employed for him and then went to this jungle and was like not himself anymore, but was there you said you were pretty good at listening in on things. Was there a reason for this? Did you guess?
when I was not in stasis, I investigated. As you say, I am good at hearing many things. To my knowledge, that man never once told another living soul what his intentions were for the objects. I fear only the gods know.
And whatever
It
we
cannot
found
be
in
good.
that jungle. Maybe. If he went to the jungle and came out a changed man with a new mission to collect all these artifacts, then whatever's in that jungle may know as well.
I believe what was in that jungle is one of the items he gifted to either the princess or the Orag king.
Oh, I see. Well, do we know what Dia's object is?
I do not know. I have been here. I have searched the records here as much as I could, but my first priority was to keep that door shut at all costs. It seems all costs were not enough to get you all to leave it the fuck alone.
Well, shit. To be fair, we did have a cursed person with us that was really obsessed with getting there.
Tell me more about this person who had the curse.
Oh, her name was Dark Down. She got cursed by Estar because she meddled with stuff. She just kept on going on about secrets of Estar and the gods, and she fiddled with things she shouldn't have and then got cursed by Estar. And she could see through illusions, so that's how we kind of got through everything really fast.
Estar does not forgive. You warn that poor girl that that curse is not lifted.
Oh, well, she's
If
not.
Orin claims to be the one to have done it, trust it even less. He laughs.
Well, she's gonna have a real bad day then, I guess.
Zata, I'm also worried about you as someone that
Oh.
was baptized.
I was baptized. That is true. It was a thing that happened. That's okay. Ere will protect me. It's fine. Probably.
He's like laughing to himself silently, and then he like gets real serious and slams his fist on the bar. And the whole room gets kind of quiet as everybody looks over and then looks back away. And he says, I have become lax in my watch. I should never have let this happen.
I agree. Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
So you want
I
to give
figure,
us that mace?
I'm sorry, what? What did you say?
We kind of need that mace to keep that away from the Union. I mean, you're doing a great job, but you even said you're kind of faltering, so maybe it's probably a good idea to give somebody else the reins, you know, have somebody else take care of that problem.
Well, here is the thing. There is no reason Emperor Orin has not come to get it that I like. There is no reason he will not scry on me the minute he decides to come and take it from me. I fear the same will be true of you, if you are the one carrying it. And he sits back and he's like rubbing his temple, trying to think of what to do next. He looks you all up and down. How good are you in the fight?
Damn good.
We haven't lost yet.
Excellent.
Maraway flexes and it's like just a bone arm.
You took down a giant squid. Squidopus. That was it.
You took down
And
a
then we
giant
ate him.
and ate a giant squidopus. That
Yes.
is impressive. Okay. Let me think for a minute. And he drinks another drink in the meantime. And he says, my friends, I fear you are in the deep shit now. So if you want to run for the hills and hope that Emperor Orin does not come to tie up the loose ends, then you have my leave to do so. However, we have started an avalanche that cannot be stopped without much smart movements. What we will do, should you choose to help me, I need to run with this mace. I need to make sure that I do not stop moving and not make myself an easy target for him to take. And get as far away from his cult members as I can. As I do so, I need your help to go to the great Athenaeum in Erendriel. In the city Azuled, there is a prophet of Ior. He, of all the people on this world, will be able to tell you what Orin is after and how to get there first.
All right.
While you are there, the great Athenaeum is the most comprehensive history of the world that you will find. Look into Orin, see what you may learn. Try to interpret what he wants.
Would you want to travel with us there, or do you want us to go collect information and come back? Is that what you're asking?
I am asking you to do it as hidden as possible. If and when Orin decides to scry on me, I do not want your faces anywhere near me. I want you to be my silent hand. I will send you with these, and he pulls out one of these sending stones. And you do not contact me until you think you know more. Understood?
Got it. Just saying, we have like this person. She's really good, like with her feet and really good at social things. Like, if you want to take her with you, you know, she could, you know, help keep you around, company, stuff.
My friends told me about you had a cat with you. A different cat. Sorry if that is a slur. You mean her?
Yes, that would be her. Yep.
Do you have wish to put her in grave bodily danger?
She's kind of already going for that kind of vibe already. We did tell her she would probably die in that temple, and she seemed pretty okay with it. So maybe.
Will she
Probably.
slow me down? I must be able to move quickly and stealthily.
She probably would. Yeah, she's new to this whole thing.
I think she could do pretty much. She wants to learn how to like way of the world kind of a thing, but you know, whatever.
I think she was more thinking of a houseboat rather than joining in on some political intrigue.
I hesitate to bring her along with me. It does not sound like this is the life that she wants to get twisted up in.
To be fair, she was already there inside, so if the Emperor was going to come cut out loose ends, go for her too. She was there, so I'm thinking like probably the safest spot is with you. Probably.
He lets out a big sigh. If she must travel with me, I will take her. I just implore you to consider it strongly that you want her to be chased after by this man.
We'll
I
give her
leave
that.
it up to you. If you are agreeing to help me and go to find out what I cannot, I will take her with me.
That sounds awful dangerous.
I mean, what we're going to be doing is awfully dangerous, especially if this Emperor already knows our face and wants to kill us. So...
Cannot impress enough how dangerous this whole thing is. His cult are no joke. He is a man of passion and anger. He will come, and the best thing we can do to survive him is to find whatever else he seeks and use it against him with the mace.
Right. And
Even the
that's why-
playing field, so to speak.
While everyone's talking, can I cast Detect Magic and just kind of glance around the room to make sure there's not already a scrying eye watching us?
Sure.
Excellent, that's what I'm gonna do.
All right. You do. You take a look around. He sees you cast the spell, and he says, I have my own scrying eyes in each of the corners. I don't believe you will see another. But check anyway. You are smart. This makes me think that we will perhaps survive this yet.
Do you hear that, Serafina? I'm smart.
You are smart.
You do. You take a long look around, and you do see the 4 scrying eyes in each of the corners of the ceiling of this long hall.
Mm-hmm.
But you do not see any other scrying eyes.
Excellent.
So, from what it sounds like, whether we choose to help you gather information or enjoy the red light district for the next days to come, no matter what, we're in great danger now that Orin has his sights set on us.
I fear you have walked right into a veritable shitstorm. However, enjoy the red light district. I have not had a bad time in this city.
Oh, for sure, yes.
I will be leaving tonight. I will not draw any more attention to this city than I must. I will keep one step ahead of him for as long as I can, but I implore you to work quickly.
Hey,
It may
Marway.
behoove us, if you have the means or the abilities, it may behoove us to look more into those gifts he gave to the other leaders, to the Princess Tessera and King Urag.
Definitely Urog. I'm down for that one. Definitely would like to get an artifact of Ere back. Yeah. Oh, Marway, can you send your familiar, say, SOS, plans changed, probably should meet at this wonderful place in the red light district ASAP. Life or death, probably.
I don't really know if she'd be able to say that, and then looks down at the little cat.
Well, we could write a note. Could you write a note? I'm just saying, have her deliver it.
I guess we could try, but I mean, not to dash your plan, but Eden is not necessarily the most inconspicuous of animals.
Well, I think we're kind of past that point with something trying to come kill us, and we have to kind of figure out what she's going to do in less than 24 hours.
Well, it doesn't seem to...
Can we not get Chiffon wrapped up in all of this? The poor thing just wants to lead a normal life.
She's already wrapped up. She was there with us. He saw her.
So-
if he wants to kill us, he doesn't know that she wasn't a part of the whole gig.
So maybe it would behoove us to fake her death.
Well, that's why I'm thinking. And then, if he could scry on people, I don't think a little bit of a fake death is going to stop them from finding her. But at least maybe.
In any
Well-
case, we need to find her and warn her and get a
Correct.
move
Then
on.
she has to,
you know.
yeah, make a decision if she wants to like go with this very handsome man to God knows where, or come with us, or try to make it out on our own somewhere where she might be hunted down, where she has no way of defending herself. You know, whatever. It's her choice.
He refills your drink and smiles at very handsome man.
Well, can we just have a moment aside, Archie, if you don't mind?
Please. Also, do not call me Archie. Jar is fine. Thank you very much. I will be in the concert hall, preparing my departure with my people. He gets up and goes into the concert hall, starts talking to some of his courtesans.
And scrying eyes.
Up.
Wales chat.
We want to get like a booth or something. I see people like in the balconies. Maybe we could have a little bit more privacy in the balcony, although they don't seem to be very.
Yeah, Bobby, you can see the balconies and the balconies that are open. They don't have like scrying eyes or anything in them. The concert hall is pretty well unguarded. It's really just the entrance hall that he's watching closely.
It doesn't seem to be anything that they can see up there. It looks like he's actually somewhat respectful of their privacy.
Barkeep? Barkeep?
Yes.
I know she went away somewhere. Oh, can we
Yeah,
have
she
a
comes back from the
balcony?
Oh, you would like to use the balcony, of course.
Yes.
Here, go up the stairs on the left, and she hands you a key. Yes, go up the stairs and left you, oh, never mind. So the curtains can be left open or closed, when you are using the bedchamber. Otherwise, please make sure to let us know if you need cleaning services. Would you all like some company, or is it just the 6 of you going up together?
Just the 6 of us for now. No company right this time, but drinks and food would be welcome. One of our members, she gets really hungry. We don't want her hangry at all. You know, it's not very good. She likes to think on a full stomach.
I will send up a charcuterie board for you. A big one. She looks at Bula. A big one.
Killian
And she
wants
hands you over the
to.
key and directs you
Killian
upstairs.
just wants to drop like a gold on the counter before they leave, and he's gonna just reach over and grab just a bottle of wine. It's like, all right, let's go talk about this.
Before we go, Seraphina will say, "You've been most accommodating. Don't forget to say goodbye to Colchar tonight. I feel like he might be going away for a while."
I will speak to him. Thank you for the insight.
Well, hope you have a lovely chat. See you soon with the charcuterie board.
See you in a few minutes. And she breezes away to go tell the kitchen what you need. And you are able to go up there's like a set of stairs on each end of this long hall going up to the back ends of all of the like balcony chambers. You unlock the door that has the same number as the key tag that you're holding. And you open it up and there is like a really lovely, like all these like blue and white and silver like drapery and curtains hanging up. There's a curtain at the end of the room that's currently closed, but it opens up to the actual like seating of the balcony in the concert hall. And there's a small bathtub, a couple like dressers of drawers, and a few like big, very plush high-backed chairs.
I also drop into one of those chairs and hold out a glass toward Killian.
Yeah, Killian just kind of takes a swig of it before he pours it into his glass. We aren't seriously believing what he said.
Yeah, from what he says,
Yeah, I sure do.
from what he speaks true about Orin. He knows quite a bit, more than I would expect somebody to know in this entire continent. For all I know, he speaks nothing but the truth. And if he does speak the truth, then Like he said, we are in a veritable shitstorm. I don't see any other option.
Listen, this is someone that made a deal with Solvok, Lord of one of the Hells. Zada, you killed someone for less than that.
Yeah, yes, I did. Survival, man, it's a terrible thing. I don't know. I don't know what to think about all this. I just, like, on the one hand, maybe we just unleash some type of super evil on the world, and that would kind of suck. And then on the other hand, the guy, like, sold himself is like an unaging tiefling that sold his affections or whatever to a demon. And honestly, it just seems like a bad situation all around, and I really don't know who I want to punch in the face more. And, yeah. I don't really know, guys.
And I understand your disposition towards devils and the like, but what's one devil versus four angry gods? Which is the greater evil here?
Well, that's assuming that... This is all assuming that this was actually Orin that came out of there. This is assuming that we're not just going on a hunt for these items to help out the Demon Lord Solvok, and in the end. We're making great assumptions on someone that told us a fabulous fairy tale story. That he's lived for thousands of years.
Yep. No,
But-
I agree.
On the other hand, we've been facing off against this shadow group, the Union. God, they need to work on their branding. The Union.
The
Um,
Union.
And we already know them to be unsavory characters, and we don't want their machinations to come to fruition either. And this, to me, seems like the only lead we have as we go searching for this last artifact ourselves. And even if we wanted to do that, a great library full of the world's knowledge seems like the best place to go to do that. Perhaps we take his advice, go to the library, get our information, and then don't use the sending stone. We take it up on ourselves.
Well, we definitely want to use a sending stone because we want to get its mace at some point.
Sorry, you cut out, Ro.
The mace that he has, we want to get that eventually. So, like, we probably would want to use a sending stone just to at least get the mace. Like, we could just take the third angle and just say fuck everybody and just do what we want. I mean, you guys have Oasis, whatever her name is. Anyways, we can have like your god that we could get into and like try to figure out other ways around it. I mean, I could go to Ere. I mean, I don't understand how they could think that Ere could have anything to do. I don't think she would. I don't know if they're just stealing her artifacts or is this like a plan of some sort. I don't really know. Plus, we don't even know what the guy's plan is with the gods.
There's lots of unknowns in this situation, and I worry that some silver-tongued tiefling comes along and convinces us to do whatever he wants us to do, just because of a elaborate story.
Right. I feel
But
like we should just...
If our aim truly is to collect all the artifacts, and wouldn't it be good for us to maintain some sort of relationship with this tiefling, maybe take him for all his resources and information, get the other artifacts, and maybe come for that last when his invitation is expired?
Yeah, get the mace last from it. I feel like that's kind of the way I'm going. We can kind of figure out our own truth of what this is while researching. Maybe we can use the Shadow Organization. I'll have to owe them a favor, but maybe they can look into this man some more and figure out what he's all about as much as we can.
Well, I think if we're going to look into Orin at that library, we might as well look into this Archie as well. I'm not calling him Koshgar just to annoy him.
Okay, but
if he's been around for as long as he claims, he must have some kind of history. He was high ranking in Orin's, intelligence, allegedly.
Right. Like I'm saying, we could use that to maybe use our connections to our own shadow organization to just try to dig up some stuff on him or keep tabs on him at least. Like I know that might owe us a favor, but I feel like that's probably the best thing, and that's kind of why I also wanted to have Chiffon follow him, because she could be like our inside girl, follow him around. And we can always trust her more than I trust her more than I trust him. So
I don't
I say-
trust
But if her
him.
cover is blown, then she's going to be vulnerable.
I don't trust him
Yeah.
not to kill her at any moment.
And this is great. We shouldn't trust anybody. I think this is perfect. It's the old saying, keep your friends closer and your enemies closer. Then we should absolutely look into Kolchar and his history with the Oran Empire, just as we should look into these artifacts and gather any information that might help us take control of this situation and take it out of the hands of people we cannot trust. But in order to do that, with our meager resources and information, we'll have to take advantage of some of theirs. And if at the end of the day he turns out to be on the level, then more power to us. But I think that this truly is the path of least resistance. And don't get me wrong, I did not come here to be wrapped up in some sort of world plot to unleash gods on this land. Just wanted a damn drink. But we are here, and if we're in as much danger as he says we are, then we must do something.
Oh,
What other plan do we have?
well, Ados, do you have any connection to the Drow princess at all? Like, do you have any? I don't know. Do all Drow know each other? I don't know.
Oh.
Well, let's settle down. Let's settle down with that talk. I'm afraid that any connection I may have had with the Drow governments, I severed when I left home. Maybe I could call in a couple favors, but I was just there at the meetings, not a speaker. I wasn't working on relationships.
I mean, the prodigal son could return, right?
If we're keeping our friends close and our enemies closer, I suppose that is an option. Not one I like, but I don't want to have my skull broken open by Orin and his mad legion. So if it means going home rather than that, then I would take that option, certainly.
And then be able maybe to use your family's connections to get the princess to get the crown. That may be the symbolize of your people, of the ruling class of an entire continent. No problem, right?
Oh, yeah, no problem at all. Yeah. I just invite her to a party and
Exactly.
maybe
Just
hold it off her head
just-
when she's
yeah.
3
Just
drinks
do a
in.
soiree. Yeah, we'll just.
Let's maybe do that part of the plan at the very, very end.
A subtle rap on the door, 3 knocks. You go over and open it, and a charcuterie board, a large, full, pile of meats and cheeses and fruits, sitting on a tray outside the door, along with a bottle of chilled wine. And with that and this conversation happening, we're gonna go ahead and take a quick 10-minute break. Yeah. Okay, as always, we're gonna run 3 minutes of ads during the break so that your show doesn't get interrupted. We will be back at 45 on the hour, so 9:45 Eastern Time, 8:45 Central. We will see you all in a few bits.
Few bits.
Welcome back, y'all. Thanks for waiting. Man, I really miss Robin's southern accent. I should just use that.
Bobby,
You want me
did
to
a
just talk?
fantastic job. I loved it.
Would you like
It
me to
was-
talk in a southern accent the rest of the camp?
Yes.
The rest of the
I would.
session? I'm from Tennessee, so it's just natural.
Both
I just try
Maraway
not
and
to-
Gula.
Southern Maraway.
Hello, friends. Well, welcome back to Dion Rising, where we play Dungeons and Dragons for you all to watch. I don't know. I feel like I lost a bit of the southern there for a little bit, but
Start off strong,
welcome
yeah.
back, y'all. Welcome back,
Hi.
y'all.
Welcome back. We are a very serious Dungeons and Dragons role
Very
play.
serious.
Very professional.
Yes. Okay. We're gonna pick up right where we left off. You're all having a a small debate about how to proceed from here. So we're just gonna pick right back up in the middle of that conversation.
Well, first, I'll open the door for the charcuterie lady person.
Yeah, they are very what's the word, discreet. So you open the door. By the time you get to the door, it's like 3 steps, but by the time you get there, there's no one in the hallway. There's just a nice little folding tray with the tray of food stacked on top of it and a bottle of wine. You look up and down the hall and no one's there.
I'll grab the bottle of wine and leave the door open. There you go, Bula.
Bula is going to just grab all of that food as quick as she can and just start really downing it.
So Bula, what are your takes on what we should do? Like you and Marway, I don't know if really Marway has an idea going on, but
Listen, as y'all keep saying, we are in the shit show. And as my second aunt twice removed Gertrude once said, once your boots are in the shit show, there's no use cleaning them off till the job's done. So we might as well just keep on going with it.
We
Well
have
put.
plenty of prestidigitation.
It's a metaphor, Serafina. And that's one. We are in it, so to speak.
well, it seems like either one way or the other. Either one person's lying to us or the other one's lying to us, and either way, it's not great. Yeah.
And either way, we get closer to the artifacts, which is, I believe, what we were trying to do here anyway.
I think that's just the main of our like overarching goal right now is just grab the artifacts, because I'm not going to say I really don't want to get the artifact of Ere out of whoever has it. I don't think, probably the person I would want to keep.
So I'm assuming you've all thought of what we would do with these items if we got them.
Yeah, keep them.
Take over the world.
Mm.
I mean,
God.
sure.
I'm just
She's
kidding.
being funny. She's being funny again.
Oh, I know. We could just hide them in the Feywild, right? Because that's where Morroway's from. If they're not here on this plane of existence, maybe that would be a better place. Like Morroway's people can keep them or
Yes,
something.
I'm sure
I
Marway would
don't
love it.
necessarily think that delivering a bunch of powerful objects to an insane, murderous dryad would be a great idea. She's already failed an archfey queen to take over my home, so I don't think she'd have much problem swatting us like the little flies that we are.
Wait, what?
It sounds like a longer story behind that.
We're gonna put a pin in that one. We're gonna circle back to that one in a second.
That one's interesting.
Um,
But yeah, we don't have anywhere to put these besides carry them ourselves, and which
my tribe
may not
could watch
be
over them.
we could just
They're
use them.
nomadic. Yeah, we could use them. We could also give them to some of my tribe. I'm assuming my tribe could, especially Ere's artifact, that they would keep safe. The other ones we could use, or if we have people that we know that are trustworthy. I mean, like, the order that Killian's a part of, I'm assuming that you guys would take care of a powerful artifact to make sure it's not used for intents that would try to destroy the entire world. Probably up your alley.
Well, if you're fine with maybe giving us the artifact of Ere as well, they would want everything.
Well, I feel like maybe you shouldn't have put all your eggs in one basket. Maybe we just tell them we found like 1 or 2 of them and give it to them, and then we can give the area to my people.
I really just think you're glossing over the fact that it's held by the Urag Empire. The king,
yes.
I
nonetheless.
don't even know who that is, honestly.
I know exactly who it is, and
Oh.
you do not. Yeah, the Warlord Kingdom. Yeah, that's the one you're talking about.
Yeah, the ones that probably worship Ere for, all the war and stuff that she's all about.
Have you heard of this war stuff? Yeah, I remember
Yeah, I know
your 30-minute
Or...
sermon over the matter. That ended up with Killian getting punched repeatedly. Imagine what will happen if we go.
Those
So
were
they-
not Urags.
Those were not
Perhaps
Urabs.
we should do our research and figure out what these items do before we decide who should have them.
I
As
mean, I'm going to go for the area one regardless. That's going to be my thing, and if they're a person of area, they're not strong enough to hold it. If I beat them in combat, then I'll take it. That's just how things go with area.
We'll have to see if that goes. If that's how it goes in the real world as well. We're a long ways away from the plains. Dear Dungeon Master, would Eidos know anything about the crown that was given to the Empress?
You know, with that very high history roll, and being from where you are, it's like legendary, especially because it is like the one thing that anybody could point to say who is now in charge of both the Drow queendoms, and the Oran Empire. It is this like very beautiful, it's like a full circlet crown. Princess Chissera, now Queen Chissera, wears it like at every public event. It has these like moonstones hanging down in chains, and these chains that go across the top in two directions. It is supposed to be blessed, supposedly, but that is, as far as anyone knows, she's never like used it as anything other than a crown. It just is supposed to be her like crown of being chosen, basically, from Emperor Orin, who never had kids and supposedly died, leaving no heirs. And he didn't specifically say when he gifted it to her very publicly that she was his heir, but it's like one of two gifts he's ever given. And he gave it to her like in the name of peace.
Okay. So she didn't get extreme magical powers from our knowledge.
Not
Did
from
she
your
receive it?
knowledge, no.
Okay.
No.
Zada, have you heard of the suit of armor of Ere before?
I have heard of the suit of armor from area. I'm assuming.
Can you tell us anything about it?
Gotta go ahead and roll history. Let's see what you know.
Oh,
Roll with
boy.
advantage. This is your god.
Ooh.
I mean, that's not going to give much. History is not Zada's strong point. 17.
Sounds like it's
16.
today.
I rolled a 17, so 16.
-1. Love that. Okay. That's a decent roll. So you and your tribe know a bit. You have your own specific lore. Okay, so you have your own very specific lore about the War of the Gods before the Accordance, which was when the uninvited ones, including your god who you worship, sort of elbowed their way into worship in Dion. Your people say that while Dion was the creator, your god and the other three uninvited ones, your tribe considers them like the balancers. And you believe that no god is wrong to worship, and that the War of the Gods was really devastating. You know this much. You have your own legends about it. And your tribe takes a very like neutral stance on the fact that the war happened at all, seeing as how the uninvited ones sort of came out not losers. They're allowed to be worshipped now, but they certainly didn't win anyone's favor by having this war. So the armor of Ere, your tribe has a legend saying that Ere herself blessed her strongest cleric with this armor during the war itself, sort of as her avatar. And legend says it's been missing since the Accordance.
Oh yeah, so you can imagine my surprise saying that it's just alive and well in some warlord's grasp. Like I said before, war shouldn't be something. War is something that is around and something that is necessary, but nothing that should be forced unless needed. People that wantonly go out seeking war to conquer just because they can doesn't seem right. Everything exists within balance.
Well, I'm sure if you explain that to the warlord, I'm sure he'll just hand over the armor.
That's
I
like
give.
a pretty good idea.
I mean, I'm willing to try, but if it comes down to blows, I will, fight him for it.
I assure you, it will come down to blows. But
Perfect.
it seems like we all have a bunch of half stories about these artifacts and the people involved with them. Maybe some researching is in order.
Yeah, we
At
can
the
do it.
great Anthenium.
Right.
Anthenium?
Athenium.
Athenium, like Athens, the city.
Athenium.
But it seems like that would be the best course, and then I don't know. You know what? I also just realized we should probably let Darkdown know. I know she said she doesn't want to do with anything with the gods anymore and screw them, but now she might be also unintentionally being targeted by somebody that we just accidentally may or may not have released.
If Chiffon is in danger, she is as well. She has had as much as a part. Yeah.
Correct. So maybe we should. But I don't. All I can say on my part is we should probably collect these artifacts, figure out. That's the goal. Go to this place, research, try to figure out what this is all about. Obviously, everybody has different representations of how the War of the Gods went on. Maybe try to figure out what that jungle was that changed him completely. Maybe at some point that's a to-do list of maybe investigate that area to figure out what happened. These are all the things. I'm just spitballing here. I don't really understand anything else other than try to figure out our own information and not rely on other people that we don't necessarily know or trust when we can just figure it out ourselves.
Certainly. I am of the same mind.
Did Archie say where the jungle was that he went to?
He said the jungle's name.
It's the Coatl jungle. Coatl is in the monster. Couatyl, I believe, or Aytl. I'll put it in
Maybe
the
that's
chat.
another
one
thing.
moment.
We can research
Butchered that
there.
story.
Maybe that's probably something we could go. Maybe go there. Depending on what kind of information we find, maybe go after one of the artifacts. Maybe go to the jungle.
Well, based on what
Depending on what these.
based on what Archie said, it seems as though that Orin already has close ties with the warlord and the Drow princess. I feel as though that whatever the object of Dia is should be maybe our priority to at least get that out of their possible clutches at the very least.
Sounds good to me.
I agree entirely.
Not going to disagree with you on that one.
So then
Okay.
we still come to the question of what do we do with Darkdown and Chiffon?
I think that's up to them. We can kind of give them the information and then just have them decide. Be like, hey, if you want to run away with this guy and kind of keep tabs on us for us, that would be great. And if you don't and you want to run away, try to do your own life things, maybe you two should stick together, try to figure out your own lives by watching each other's back. And there might be some crazy old emperor dude that wants to murder you. Good luck.
Well, that sounds pretty reasonable to me.
And maybe the whole Estar's not done with Eureka bit
Oh
as well.
yeah, that's gonna be a bomb to drop on her.
Yeah, so
She's still not uncursed, she's still cursed. And probably only a temporary, or may have just gotten worse kind of a thing. Yeah, that's probably great. Probably cursed, by the way, now. Thank you. Also.
Do you feel cursed?
No, I feel perfectly fine. I feel...
You're probably
I
fine.
mean, my perception has increased after doing so. I can perceive things better after the blessing that I received. That's it. Can't really tell you if I feel any other curse. It's probably the area protecting me, obviously, so that's probably good.
Well, keep an eye on that, I suppose. Good luck. Alright, well, sounds like we have something resembling a plan, maybe? We all in consensus?
Sounds
We're
perfect to
going
me.
to the library.
To the library, and then we'll figure out from there. Overarching, long-term goal: collect all the artifacts, rule the world, as Seraphina says. Yeah, we could just see. That's the great thing. We could just make Eidos the queendom into a kingdom, so then he can just rule everybody, and then that way he doesn't have to deal with anything of his father or anything like that. He could just rule, and he won't have to worry about it. Seraphina could take the crown. I'm pretty sure she wants the crown. She could just take the crown, rule over the Blackthorns or whatever, and then Marway could get, I don't know, something, and then some kind of evil queen took over that we can slay for you or something.
Oh no! You will not be going to Sanctuary. Everyone would die.
Well, don't want that.
Well, dying is not
Oh.
great, but you know.
No, it's not, and I've seen too many good people do it. So we should just avoid it at all costs.
Right.
What's-
I mean, if you want Marway, I don't think that there would be a problem with any of us trying to help you. You know, take.
It
back
would be a
your
big
home.
problem. You would die. I just told you that. Do you not listen?
I mean, I'm listening, but I feel like we're a little bit harder to kill than you may think. But that
Do
is-
you believe that you are harder to kill than an archfey who creates her own realm?
I don't think that. Definitely
I haven't
not.
tried.
Neither do
but
I.
can definitely
So
try. We could
Maybe
go back to that.
that'll be the next thing we
Next
do.
step.
Yes.
Well, we are going to a library. Maybe you can find something that could stop an archfey there. Maybe one of the
I'm
artifacts.
more
is
interested
powered?
in trying to find something that can pull all my friends out of Sanctuary. That would be much better than trying to go there.
I mean, if you want to fight for your home, that's okay. We can
Eh,
definitely do that for you.
My home is gone. There is nothing left of it.
Okay.
I'm going to cast Sanctuary on Zada. And as this magic hits you, it feels like home. It feels like the warm embrace of a hug. And just as you start to enjoy the warmness, it gets cold. It freezes over and you feel a longing sense of loneliness. This is what my home is now. This is what it feels like. There is no joy. There is no love.
I mean, I understand. I'm sorry, but I'm saying that we could try to figure out a plan to take it back. If somebody has wronged you
Oh.
as a priest of Ares,
I will put this as
then-
plainly as possible. I have seen much greater warriors than all of you fall. I mean that with no disrespect, of course. But I have seen great people suffer terrible deaths. Purely because the force that we faced in Sanctuary was not one that was unwise. They were intelligent, they're smart, they know what they're doing, and above all, they are powerful. I do not believe any of you have the power to fell a dragon, and that is but one of her minions.
I mean, I'm willing to take on a dragon.
I
Then
believe
you are
that.
a fool, and your hubris will be the downfall of you.
Well, if you don't push yourself, you don't actually know your limits.
Mm,
But that could be something we can try for later. But, yeah, library. Sounds like a plan.
Before we go to the library, we should probably see if there's any flying elephants around here. What do you say, Marway?
I agree, I want to see the elephants. Do they fly with wings, or do they just fly with magic?
We better find out.
Oh my goodness.
Maybe they have very big ears that they flap.
That would
That's
be
preposterous.
adorable and weird.
yes, that's the.
As this
That's
conversation is happening, you hear there's a band out on the stage past the curtain, just warming up. people starting to arrive, musicians, an
So,
orchestra.
are we going to speak
Can we peek
with?
over and see them?
Yeah, you peek through the curtain. You see your balcony seats. There's about 8 balcony seats up here. And you see, like, there's not a lot of people, like, sitting down yet, like, audience-wise, but there are, like, musicians starting to arrive and take their seat on the stage.
Well,
What was that, Killian?
Should we go speak with Archie to let him know what our plans
Yes.
are?
Well, we still need to talk to Darkdown and Chiffon and make sure they understand what they're going to do, and then we should probably talk to him because
We made it clear that it would be their choice where they would go next. I think we
right,
could just.
but we want to let them know if they want to stay with him. We should probably let them choose, and then or if they want to do something else. They like, don't worry about it. We got somebody else. They're gonna do
You were
have fun.
literally
Castle.
15 minutes ago. You were very much like, yeah, take them, and now you want to give them a choice.
I was just saying that would be a good idea. I'm not gonna force anybody to do something they don't want to. If they don't want to be a spy for us, then
Listen,
that's fine.
I do
was
not
just
want
putting it
to.
in there.
I do not want to
Well-
put them in any harm's way, but we have something that we need to do, and like you said, it is going to be their choice. So we need to make our choice, and then give them the opportunity to make their choice. But
I thought her.
he didn't seem
Pretty
like he wanted to wait very long for our answer.
Correct. That's why I'm waiting for them to get here. So then.
The cat hasn't moved yet.
Aiden's literally just like,
Yeah, can you go send your cat to go get Darkdown too? I mean,
Aiden's, like, making biscuits on the bed.
Oh, I have one.
I can't do it. You see, she's like laying down on my lap, and that means that I
Oh,
cannot
mm.
move.
Oh,
Maraway
that
is
is-
stuck.
It's just stuck there. Well, Glitterbell could go get Fellshade, I'm assuming. She's pretty good pals with tracking her down. Could Glitterbell go get Fellshade and be like, "Rar, come hither"?
I don't know. Maybe instead of bringing the blind, the blind woman and the socialite soon to fake her death to the red light district would be more difficult than simply going over there and saying, "Hey, do you want to do this?" and then
He's
coming
about
back
to-
here.
He's about to
We
start
can't
the performance, yes, which means we're going to have his entire performance to go get them.
Oh, is he a
He's not
musician?
going anywhere.
There's
Oh,
there's a concert happening. He's running it. He indicated he'd be leaving late in the night, making
Why
an
don't-
escape.
Why doesn't one of us
One.
go ask them? Maybe Yuzato or Bula if you've had
Yeah.
enough to eat, and come back here. But
Bula's never had enough to eat. First off,
I did not mean any offense. I do apologize, but I saw a lot of good vendors out there as well. Yeah, and then come back here, let us know what they say, and we can move from there. That should make everybody happy, yes.
Right, and we don't want to go to Chiffon because we're trying to stay away from her. I was thinking this goes to a brothel. Yes, having fun. Serafina does it all the time. I'm assuming that's kind of a thing that they do.
Yeah, sure. Seraphina's
we
not.
also don't want them seeing her with us too much.
Yeah,
Well, that's
Seraph-
what I'm saying. If we were to just kind of meet here in this, and then we just go to a private booth, and then they could leave, she could just be like, "Oh, I was having a good time, had a fling, it was great, fantastic." I don't know, but at least it would be in our private quarters where.
Also, isn't her letter of death going to say that she's sad from love? I mean, if she's deeply in love with someone right now, why would she be in a place like this? Why wouldn't she be with them?
Oh, trust me,
Rebound.
Maraway, that is part of the process.
Everybody has a slut phase. I mean,
What is that?
oh,
Sometimes
that's
it's
a
not a
Bula
phase.
question. You're right. Sometimes it's not. It's just continues. But that's a Bula question. Because I don't want her to cut off my head if I tell you something wrong.
Boolish is gonna like cover up his ears and kind of give you this like death glare.
Yep, that's the one.
Okay, so what is it we're doing?
try to get Felshade and Chiffon here, and
And how do you want to do that?
well, we have a messenger cat that may or may not be able to move, but we also do have a pseudo dragon or dragon thing.
Glitterbell
that
cannot
could-
talk.
Yeah, but we
I
can
would
send a
bet-
note.
Above the table, I would beg y'all not to send Bula because I am not at that level of roleplay for Bula that I feel like I could do an actual conversation.
Well, we could just say note. Just have Glitterbell have clutched her little tiny paws, a little note for Felshade, like please come to brothel ASAP, life or death, hugs and kisses. I don't know.
That's
It-
certainly feasible, if not beneath her to use her like a carrier pigeon. But certainly yes.
To be fair, she would be the only carrier pigeon I would trust.
I'd also pull
He's
out
whipping
a,
her tail real fast like an angry cat.
I'd also pull out a pen and paper, quill and parchment, and head it over to Zada. Saying, "Well, write your notes." But you have to.
Oh, you want me to write it? Sure.
Yes, and I want you to say it out loud too, just so we know you're not messing it up.
Sure. Which one do I write it to? Felshade or Chiffon first?
Well,
You can
Felshade
write two
can't
separate
read
notes.
It, so
Yeah.
she's blind now. She can't read it.
Yeah, that's
I
right.
think I could
Chris,
help
bring
with
it out.
that.
Make it an illusionary script.
I
Just-
have illusory scripts.
There we go.
There you
I
go.
have illusory scripts.
Listen,
Perfect.
let me just. Okay, here's what we'll do. Seraphina, will you let Glitterbell come with me? I'll go over to Chiffon's house and have Glitterbell deliver the message, and then I'll just bring Eureka.
Perfect.
Why do you
I really
need
like the
Glitterbell to
idea.
deliver a message if you're going?
Because we're
You
not
take
trying
it.
to
I don't
be,
really understand.
Because we're not trying to be seen together.
So you'll be like a block away and then deliver the letter, then escort her here. I'm
Glitterbell,
assuming.
go the rest
Yeah.
of the way. Go.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
Don't.
It's just a little white dragon walking around the
Yeah,
grounds.
no problem. No one will notice. They're native.
All right.
I mean,
The-
yeah.
What does the note to Eureka say?
I'm just gonna go get Eureka. I'm just gonna go get
just
her.
gonna get
Okay,
Eureka,
sorry.
apparently.
And what does
Although
the
I
note
really
to
like the
Chiffon say?
illusionary script thing, so I think like Seraphina should just make one for her to make her so special, so she can actually read it, and she'll be really
Yeah,
excited.
to see it, she's gonna have to be.
Well, yeah, it's an illusionary script. She can see illusions, so there you go. It's a note that she can actually read.
She still has to walk here, guys. She's
I mean,
blind.
what's the plan?
I'll go get Eureka, and then we can have Glitterbell bring this message to Chiffon.
Makes
Yeah.
sense. We just have to write the message.
Come
Dear
to
Chiffon,
this brothel.
Come to the brothel ASAP. Your life may depend on it. Hugs and kisses, the group.
Maybe-
I take the dictation and I write it all down
Hey.
using the illusory
Can you put
I'm
instead
over
of
Seraphina's shoulder. I'm just like, and the name of the brothel, and don't forget, just write that line.
Can you just put you know who as not just put the group? You know.
You know who
Should we call-
Winky Face?
No, you know who, the groupie.
Oh my god.
Okay, alright. We wrap it up and we send it with Glitterbell. Glitterbell's gone.
What about
But
Gone?
no, Glitterbell's supposed to go with Killian.
I got Glitterbell. Let's go.
No.
Alright. Killian and
stopped-
Glitterbell take off.
we
like to
solved
think
your
about a
puzzle.
bottle of wine.
Yep. No problem.
Simple things, guys.
Yep.
Nope. Can't be.
About half an hour passes. The rest of the orchestra has assembled, and people are filing in for the concerto. You all like just kind of sit and wait on the balcony. What do you do while you're waiting? Do you go and
I'm
talk
gonna go get more
to?
drinks.
Naturally.
More drinks. And
At
I
this
guess
point, there are servers like walking around, like coming up to each balcony, serving dinner and drinks and things. So you can pretty easily order from the bedroom door.
Okay, good. Excellent. That.
Eventually-
he's just on stage, right? He's not actually like approachable and talkable.
Well, after a while, the crowd has started to fill up. The concert hasn't started yet, but it's getting close. Like, the sconces are occasionally flashing, letting people know to find their seats. He does come and knock on your bedroom door. Coast does. He is wearing a like tailed tuxedo, and like a very beautiful like maroon bow tie.
Look at
cummerbund.
you, you're looking very dapper.
He does look dapper. He's got like all this like wild like curly hair that he's like really combed back around his horns. He says, "This will be my last performance at one of my beloved establishments. I hope you enjoy. Have you decided what you will do?"
Well, we have decided we are definitely going to go to the library. And whether we're waiting for our other compatriots to figure out what the cursed girl and the cat want to do. So either they may or may not be joining you. We'll let you know at the end of the show that we are going to look at. But we are definitely going to go check out that library and figure out as much information as possible to stop that crazy old king of yours. Crazy guy.
Crazy guy. He would hate that. I hope someday you can call him that to his face as you drive your blade through his heart.
I mean, sounds great to me. Yeah, so I think that's our overall plan, guys, right? That's plan.
Yes, that sounds accurate.
There you go. Yeah, that's what we're...
Will I be waiting for a traveling companion?
We are in the currently getting them here to discuss that matter with them. Probably during your concert while we listen, and then you'll let you know after the concert. Come find you, or one of us can come find you and let you know. Introduce you to our two companions if they're coming with you. Or one. Or none. Whichever one.
This is good. I plan on leaving before sunrise. Not long before, just before.
Yeah, we should have this all squared away till before.
Indeed. Well, I fear this will be one of the last time we talk in person. I do not wish to spend any more time with your faces near me as possible. So, tonight you let me know what I will be traveling with, and then you shall not see me until you have more information.
Alright.
Break a
We'll
leg.
see you after the concert.
I mean, we would have liked to get more of your face, but I mean, honestly, I understand. You know, just can't be seen together.
I have a face that spans many lands and many generations. I will miss this city and my people. I hope you miss me too. He winks at Zara.
Will you miss the barkeep?
I will miss the barkeep. She is a special kind. I feel she will not leave my legacy in vain. You should invite her up after the concert. She plays the flute. And with that, he
Yes, she does.
turns and leaves. Mama way!
Oh no, that was Bobby. That was
That was
not
all Bobby. Wow, I don't understand. He's like, oh, flute, beautiful, love it.
wonderful instrument.
I'd have a wonderful instrument I would be happy to show you in another lifetime. But for
Oh
now, we
my.
have no time. I must go. He smirks heavily and walks away.
This is the problem of playing an innocent character.
Just can't have any fun.
Took us all right out of it. Okay, yeah. You all take your seats on the balcony as the lights, the sconces in the concert hall all go dark. This orchestra begins playing this like really, really lovely slow ballad. It's like very like melodic and peaceful, with lots and lots of bass. And once that song ends, the crowd gives their first round of applause, and the entire orchestra stands up and with like crazy flourishes remove one piece of their clothing, one piece of their tuxedos or their gowns, and then sits back down to begin playing the next song. And from there on, the songs progressively get a little faster each time, a little more upbeat, and a little bit more of a major chord, a little bit of a happier sound. And as the songs get faster, the clothes come off. And about half an hour, 45 minutes into the concert, Chiffon comes in through the back and comes and sits next to Serafina and says, "Oh, I have never seen a show where everybody was so scantily clad. This is exciting."
You just came right in time. This is the best part. Keep watching.
I did not expect to be here tonight. I barely even got to shop today. Okay, let's watch.
You're gonna love it.
Killian, anything that you need to report from going to talk to Eureka?
No, Killian would just kind of go straight there, knowing that kind of the time is of the essence. But as he's walking back with her, he would kind of divulge the information that Archie, I already forget his real name, Archie told us about that, you know, that Estar is probably not done with her. This might be some kind of like temporary reprieve, potentially. But we have no idea when that might change. So I would just kind of explain that to her as I kind of more than likely kind of walk with like our arms together because she can't really see as I guide her to the brothel.
She responds that she had feared as much, that she didn't think it was a coincidence that she had not gained her eyesight back when she came back. That the baptism felt a little bit unholy, something about it. But that regardless, she was glad to be back in a human shape.
Mm-hmm.
But she thanks you for letting her know and promises to keep you apprised of anything new she feels.
And one more thing I would like to ask Eureka is if she would have any interest traveling with Archie, seeing how he's gonna have the object that she's been looking for.
She says,
she's still a powerful... Is she a sorcerer? Wizard? One
you
of the
don't
two? She got magic. She got magic.
She magic,
make
yeah.
magic.
Yeah, she do magic stuff. She considers everything you've told her, and she says, I wasn't, I've been wise enough to learn from my mistakes. I'm not interested in touching you said it's a mace?
Yeah.
I'm not interested in raising a weapon of the gods anytime soon. However, it seems my options have become quite limited, seeing as how I had a close and personal interaction with this fake, false cleric. I don't know. Let me think on it for an hour and I'll let you know. I'd like to meet him first, if possible.
Yeah. And, you know, the Union is still might be seeking you, and he's actively trying to avoid them. So, kind of goals align in that sort of way. But something for you to think on, of course.
Indeed. Thank you for telling me. I will let you know as soon as I have a chance to consider all the options. And she sighs. She just, on this walk, she's like very quiet and contemplative, and she seems pretty tired, just overall. Still pretty worn out from everything from the last few months. And yeah, after about 10 minutes after Chiffon shows up, so do Killian and Eureka. And you all also find your seats in this balcony.
Killian, I thought you said people don't go around being naked. They're all naked.
At this point, they are down to their drawers.
But did they start that way? See? Difference.
So I have to take it off during, just throughout a performance? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
I mean, if you want to do it that way, I suppose it'd be okay. Be entertaining, none at the very least. But you can't go walking around showing off all the goods, Zada.
Oh,
Just watch the show.
Someone from the next balcony box like leans over and goes, shh. Yeah, the show continues for about another 20 minutes for the whole like hour and a half of the orchestra. And yeah, by the end of it, people are standing behind, taking their bows in all of their natural glory, to say the least. And it was a beautiful concert. And Kostrar, who was conducting the entire orchestra, takes his bow as well. Takes 2 bows. And
Is he
looks,
completely naked?
even from the balcony, looks a bit forlorn.
Did
As
he-
they're
did he
taking
lose
a
all his
bow.
clothes?
What'd you say?
I was gonna say, did he lose all his clothes too, or is he still just in complete outfit? I am curious about this.
He is still in his complete tux, but after his second bow, he like unties his bow tie with a flourish and like swings it around and throws it into the crowd. And then a second, like a bardic troupe come in like down the aisles on the floor and like are playing as they walk and like playing a more jaunty body sound as the crowd kind of gets up and starts to mingle and talk and go back to the bars for drinks.
As they're bowing, Seraphina's gonna cast Minor Illusion of a flying elephant with its ears flapping. Mar-
Oh my goodness! Look at that! Do you
I told you all
see
your
them?
fantasies.
Kitties are the only ones that can fly.
It's glorious. The whole crowd are like, oh my, we've never seen that before, and all these exclamations of excitement. Kostrar did himself this time. Everybody applauding. Yeah, and this a very like classy, albeit naked concert turned into a raucous party at this point. People are, by all accounts, grinding with each other, dancing. People are closing the curtains of their private boxes, and all the bars have alcohol flowing. And you see Kostrar kind of like take a pretty solemn look around, laugh with a couple people who stop by to say hi to him, and you watch him from above as he works his way back out through the crowd, back out into the foyer.
All right.
Okay.
Well, that.
What's that?
I was gonna say something, but you were gonna say something. Ghost.
Yeah. At this point, Eidos would go up to Chiffon and kind of give her the same speech that Killian gave Eureka, explain her options here, and yeah, just to tell her of the situation too.
Okay. Yeah, Chiffon takes a long, quiet moment to consider silently. And she says, so if I decide to go with him, I must expedite my plans, yes?
Your plans to fake a death?
Yes. I'll have some shopping to pick up in the morning, but I suppose I can try and call my personal shopper and see if they have gotten anything since I saw you this morning. I don't know what is safest. What should I do?
Why don't we just blow up your house?
Well, I think she means for her actual well-being, not the
I
story that
do.
we're.
I do.
Okay.
Regardless, that would be kind of fun, yes. We could
Yeah,
blow
I
up
mean,
my parents'
that is-
chateau.
This is your parents' estate. I don't know. That might.
It
bring
is
in
also
law
a part of
enforcement.
the structure of the pyramid. That could be a whole problem. You're right.
Yeah,
bad
maybe
idea.
stick to the original plan. But if the question is whether or not you'd be safer with this Koshar, nailed it. I can't imagine that you would be safer with him. It sounds like he's on the run as well, and people are actively hunting for him. What we're asking you to do is not safe. We're asking you to essentially play a double agent, where you let us know what's going on with him on the sly. If you want to be safe, stick to the original plan. We could take you to where you want to go. We don't want you to be in danger. It's just an offer to you. It's a way to purpose once you begin your new life.
And be somewhat safe, because we don't know. Like, if you're out on your own and this Emperor does decide to come for you, we won't be around, and I don't know if there will be anybody around to protect you. Have to fend for yourself.
There are many unknowns with both sides
Correct.
of the plan.
Yeah, it's really up to whatever you decide to do, however you wish to fight this fight.
She considers, she's kind of like nervously playing with her fur. And Yurika steps forward, listening to all this and having been listening and considering and thinking during this whole concert about what to do. Yurika steps forward and puts a hand on Chiffon's shoulder and says, I think the answer is obvious at this point. I will go with this Kostrar, this maestro. Chiffon, where do you feel safest? And she says, if I'm being honest, I feel safest with my friends here. I would rather be with you. And she says, then that shall be our choice. I will go with Kochar and Chiffon. If they will have you, you stay with this group.
Of course we'll have
We
you.
would love to have you.
We'd be honored.
And though I, the irony. Though I don't have eyes, I will be your eyes on this Kostrar.
We'll try to figure out a way to break your curse while also at the library. Maybe there's a way to lift it for you.
I can feel Dark down inside me still. She is me and she's also not. She has become her own entity, I think. If you cannot break this curse, well, I think I earned it, didn't I? So, don't make me a priority, though I appreciate the gesture.
Well, I mean, you're doing something for us, so we can at least try to do something for you. Or to be our spy, we can at least try to figure out a way to break your curse, tit for tat.
Well, I'm nothing if not a savvy businesswoman, so I accept.
And speaking of business, I'll turn to Chiffon. So, not to be so crass as to ask you for money or favors, but is there any way that your personal assistant doing your shopping for you can acquire 2 sending stones for us and Yurika here?
I will need a few hours. I will go and find her and see what she has managed to buy so far. I will see what she can do. I can try. I only have a few hours, so I think I should go and do that now, yes?
You know, I mean, the good news is, since you're coming with us, you don't have. We can take a couple of days to figure out your stuff, so that's okay. But if you were going to go with him, you would have to leave like ASAP. But this week, if you're staying with us, then we don't have to go like crazy. We can wait a couple days.
But the
But
sending
Yurika
stones
doesn't have time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The second
Yurika does
side
not
of
have
the
time.
Okay.
Yeah, for the sending stones at least.
Yes. Great. Okay. That I understand now. I think we will be able to get the things we need in that case.
Thank you, Chiffon.
I do, Killian. I am glad to see you. The first priority that I looked into, I have this. I don't know if she's really my friend. She has sold many things to my parents, and she made this gift for you. And she pulls from her, from under one of her skirts, this like larger satchel that she carries. Digs around in it for a minute and pulls out this like very finely embroidered sheath. And you see like a very small curved handle sticking out of it. She says, this was made by the finest smith in the entirety of the Middle Continent. This is one of Alana Viargo's sabers. And she pulls out this beautiful, like, not only is the blade curved, but it almost makes this, like, very subtle S-curve with the blade itself and the handle. And it's just a long saber that acts as a scimitar +1, essentially.
Killian will
She says,
kind of will grab it and like kind of run his finger like along the blade, kind of just like a little cut kind of appears on his
Yep.
finger, but he's got very calloused hands, so he doesn't really feel it. But he kind of just like flourishes it a little bit, just kind of feeling the weight in his hand. Says, quite the exotic blade, but feels good. As he just kind of continues to flourish it in his hand.
Yeah, getting a real feel for it. She smiles pretty happily, and her tail flicks excitedly. She says, I do love shopping. You picked the right girl to try and find all of our little trinkets and things. So yes, it is honestly the least I can do for all of my friends here, helping me find a new way of living. So it is my preemptive thank you. I will go now and continues the shopping, yes? Do you need anything else from me?
I don't think so. Thank you.
Very well.
Soon.
I will see you soon, my friends. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye. Toodaloo. Let's see all kisses and sweeps away in all her gowns. As she's walking through the crowd, some people you see, like, she walks out to the hallway and walks down the hallway where there's people mingling about outside of rooms, and you see people, like, stop and whisper as she walks by. That's Chiffon Foxglove. What is she doing here? I've never seen her here before. And she kind of, you see her shoulders kind of shrug off the noise around her as she disappears down the hall. Okay. Eventually, a little bit of mingling later, Koschar shows up at the end of your hallway. Makes his way, talking to patrons, closing doors for people, giving winks and shutting doors for privacy. Makes his way to your door and stops in the threshold and leans against the door jamb. Is this the one I will be taking with me?
Correct. This was the one that was cursed, and maybe not cursed, but still cursed. This is Phil Shade.
Yurika stands up and does a very stiff backed bow at him. And she says, if you will have me, I will travel with you, sir. And he just kind of nods his approval. He says, I hope you are good at moving fast and quiet. And she says, I'm good at a lot of things.
Bartender elf who?
Speaking of, she shows up as well at your door. And she says, Koschar, I believe the concert hall is starting to empty. Do you require anything else tonight before I go and prepare your arrangements for this morning? He says, yes, go on. Thank you, Apple. I will talk to you in a little while. And she rushes away to kind of, apparently, pack his bags for him. Those faces.
Love triangle.
Well,
Dun, dun, dun.
well, it was a
I'm
beautiful.
invested in this.
Yeah. I also like watching Kara flirt with herself.
I do it every day.
That's good.
I'm
That's
the only
healthy.
one who will.
Oh,
I'm just kidding.
it was a beautiful
If I
performance.
wasn't an innocent little child, I would flirt with you, Kara.
Oh, thank you.
It's a lot.
That's good for my heart.
was
Okay.
beautiful. Go for it.
No. You guys have the night essentially. Koschar gives you a final farewell. He confirms that you have the other half of his sending stones. And he says, I cannot stress enough, do not use this stone. I will not know at all times if I am being watched. You must stay as secret as you can. Use the stone only when you know you have what we need. Or, if God forbid, he finds you before we find what he's looking for.
Right. Perfect.
I thank you all for hearing my story and agreeing to help me in whatever way you can. And I look forward to working with you to bring down this monster.
Thank you for putting your trust in us. It seems our objectives align. I hope that we can continue to work together amicably.
We will see.
Archie, before you leave, do you know if the Union has ties to demons or devils of the like? When we were there, we encountered someone that had made some kind of deal with a demon and was possessed by one, and it seemed as though that there were ties to the Union involved, and there seemed to be something very important about Tuzankin itself being the center of the continent. I was wondering if you had any kind of information or knowledge about anything of that sort.
He thinks for a minute. He says, well, though I don't know all that Solvak knows, what I can do is ask him the next time he finds it fit to commune with me. If anybody knows about the demons, it is my patron devil. Says I do not know specifically of the Union themselves working with devils, but it would not surprise me if they're working with devils or demons or whatever else to try and bring back their leader, who is now, unfortunately, walking among them.
Very well. And
I will send message some secret way if I learn anything new.
Okay.
Is there anything else you need from me to be successful in this mission?
I think that might be all, Kochar. Jesus Christ.
Archie, just call him Archie.
Archie, I'm not. It's disrespectful. I will say his name 5 times incorrectly.
I have many names, I understand. My language is quite difficult for simple-minded creatures as yourself.
Indeed.
I notice you do not have the Eastern Continent accent. Interesting that you would drop it so easily.
Well, I don't think it behooves me to telegraph my upbringing to everybody I meet, unlike others.
This is wise. I respect you a bit more now. And I believe I understand you a bit more still. I think perhaps the gods brought us together. And I know perhaps Solvak has a plan for us all. So let us find out and have a great adventure together, huh? And he grabs a glass from the table in the room and takes a drink as he turns to leave. He stops and turns back around to Yurika and he says, be back here 1 hour before dawn, and we will leave. And then he turns and walks away.
Ados will immediately turn around to Killian and say, I'm sure that Solvak stuff doesn't apply to us. Just more ramblings from another zealot.
Yeah, I'm sure. How do we get to this Azul? Oh, that's a person. The Athenium.
Athenium.
Okay.
Athenium.
Athenium. Athenaeum of lots of weird names. Okay, so you are trying to get to the city of Ozuled, which is in like the country Arendriel. Specifically, you're looking to go to the Great Athenaeum, which is like a big library. These, for those of you from the Middle Continent, you would know. They are. Ozuled is not far. It's within the same like ocean bay that Santapelli is at the bottom of. So it'd be really just a couple days ship ride or little less than a week travel by land. Pretty much due northwest of Santapelli. So it's closer than Tuzankin is by a pretty long shot. And you could go, like I said, by land or by ocean. Sorry, I have to like sneeze.
Well, do we have any way to contact the Thieves Guild for another favor?
I
Are we
think
gonna?
we're tapped on favors for
Yeah, I'm
We
afraid
could just
so.
we could owe them if we want another one.
Are you sure we want to get Zada back on the boat?
I'm not sure I want to owe a Thieves Guild anything.
I mean, I am not going to say no to getting back on a boat. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it at all. If you want to take along, but if I understand haste and getting away from here as fast as possible is better. If someone's pursuing us, I guess a boat would be better.
Well, but we
Or-
also want to keep Chiffon anonymous, right? Like, smuggling someone on a boat, required the Thieves Guild to do so. Chiffon is very well known in Santapelli. Everyone, as soon as she gets on that boat, people are going to know who she is. Probably
That's why
easier
we're gonna
to.
dye her fur black. Remember, we're gonna dye her fur
yeah.
black, give her a little haircut, and then she'll look completely different to Baxi.
That's true.
So, I understand, but we do have the ways around it. But then there are also more people on the road that may have a bit passed by them. We have a chance of also the people recognizing her, where we could kind of limit that as a little bit.
Nothing a robe can't fix. The nice
Yeah,
hood.
we could. So, depends on what we want to do. I really, really do not want to get on a boat unless we absolutely have to. But at the same point in time, I understand again, if we are doing something, that would probably be the best route instead of taking a couple days as compared to a week.
Oh, Chiffon, you know the area. Which path do you think you'll be?
Chiffon
She's
has
not
left.
here.
left.
Oh, she left?
You turn
I
around like,
look
oh,
around,
she's
it's
not here.
I could still feel her.
Like your allergies are still a little.
Cat allergies.
Well, I don't know. Maybe it's could be an opportunity to give her a little bit of real world experience as well out on the open road, so that we can, send her on her way whenever she feels comfortable.
I don't know if she'll ever feel comfortable as long as there's some type of bad king maybe trying to murder us.
Well, that's the life of an adventurer, I suppose. My vote is for the open road. I don't think that we'll be awarded the same discretion that we were leaving Tuzankin.
All for that. I am with that 100%.
I just think that this time we should hoof it, and then he's gonna as he's sitting lift his hooves up, kind of do one of these motions.
Perfect.
I mean,
You get,
we
a
saw what
cover.
happened last time that we were on the boat. We got attacked by the giant squidtopus.
That's
I
very
don't
true.
think there's squidtopuses out on the road.
No, there's just other monsters, which is fine. I'm not afraid of monsters. I'm just more afraid of all that water.
Well, at least this will be an established road. Hopefully they've done some clearing. I've never traveled by road, or at least not by road unaccompanied. So
We should do it. It'll be fun, and then we can see the land. We can get an idea of the area around us.
Maybe we can
We
look
wanted to-
Versus
into.
just being popped into the middle.
Maybe we can look into getting like a horse and or a couple of horses and a cart or something like
That's
that.
what I was thinking.
That would be
Yes.
so much fun.
Like a covered wagon, so she could be hidden inside if needed.
Perfect. That sounds.
I can
Alright.
maybe make arrangements with, what's her name? Sarah.
Oh, your
Sarah,
concierge?
or whatever, at the Moonlit Quay to help us.
Sounds great.
And
That's good.
We'll figure it out in the morning.
we still
Yeah.
do need to figure out a plan for Chiffon's demise.
I thought
like
we
I
did.
s- We did.
that
We
the-
just forgot the bag with meat, put a dress in it, on top of it, and throw it over the cliff.
Catch her on the way down.
And catch her on the way down, yeah.
Let's strategize that a little bit more, so we know where we are, so we don't so she doesn't accidentally slip through your hands or something like that. Little things like that.
I'll catch her, no problem. Either Bill or I will catch her.
I think that's where Seraphina's ropes might come in handy.
Oh yeah, there's also going to be the ropes that Seraphina's going to have. Some unconspicuous knots, on her.
Very important ropes. Okay. With this plan laid out before you, that's where we're going to end it tonight.
Ooh.
What a dream. All lore this time.
Lore
So
head.
Lands and lore.
We love lore.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you all for joining us, friends on Twitch. We love you all so dearly. Thank you to the Raiders. Thank you, Card Trick, as always.
Thanks, Card.
Thanks, everybody who watches every week. You guys are the real ones. Cheers to you all. We will see you this time, this place, next week.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.